All right, welcome to another episode of the Ridgefield Raptors wrap-up show. I'm Connor Webb, also known as the Couch GM, here today with the Raptors head coach, Chris Cota, and then the Bears head coach, Kelly Stinnett. So first off, thank you to you both for taking the time again. Thank you to Playmakers, Sports Bar and Grill here in Ridgefield for hosting us. Kind of a wild game tonight. Grand slam in the first inning, followed by the Raptors coming back to win in the end. You know, it was pretty hot out there. First off, starting with the game, what did you guys think from both sides?
Well, you know, when it hit the grand slam, we haven't been real offensive lately, but so it was nice of us to put up 4 runs right after that to answer them, and then brand new ball game after that.
Perfect.
Well, it'd been nice if we could have caught a couple fly balls, which kind of helped their runs. But it's you know, different ballpark, windy, home field advantage. You know, we didn't make the play when we needed to, and let them back in the game.
Yeah. So last time we had Chris on by yourself, we had you tell a bit of your story. We haven't had you on yet. So let's have you start back with how you got into sports, a bit of your backstory and your career in baseball, and then how you became, you know, the coach of the Cowlitz Bears.
Well, I grew up a lot in Oklahoma. It's kind of, you know, played baseball ever since I could walk. Played football, basketball, all 3 sports, all the way up until my senior year in high school, when I decided to cut out basketball. I was concentrating on baseball, which I think was a pretty good thing. You know, I was fortunate enough to be around some great coaching at the high school level. The guys that pushed me, got in the weight room, probably made me the player I was then, and probably the coach I am now. I feel like I do a pretty good job. Went to junior college for a couple of years, junior college All-American. Was fortunate enough to sign a pro contract out of there, and 17 years later, and 14 years of that in the big leagues, I was able to fool some guys and stick around a little bit, and then, you know, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do afterwards. I knew I was always halfway decent at coaching, and, you know, I had a bunch of club teams back in the day in Arizona, because it's, you know, it's year-round sport there, and we're on the field almost every day, and it kind of, a college job fell in my lap, and this is going to be going to my 9th year at coaching at the college level, and I was fortunate enough to get a job 3 years ago with Edmonton, and then the job at Cowlitz came open, and reached out to Tony. I said, hey, you need somebody to help you run it, and this is my 2nd year here, so it's kind of in a nutshell. But, you know, baseball 24/7 for me.
Yeah, both of you guys have a lot of experience in baseball, obviously, and coaching. And can you talk about the West Coast League specifically, and just kind of the talent that is in the league right now and this year?
I'll let the guy with the seniority start that.
Well, you know, there's a lot of talent in this league, and, you know, some of these guys that are in this league didn't really get a chance to play a lot at the colleges they were at, and so you know, they have a lot to prove, and so they come out ready to go, and some of them flourish, and some don't. But I think that the league itself is a real good baseball league, and there's a lot of talent floating around this league, and it's fun to watch them, you know, show up and see the guys get better, and all of a sudden they go back to their colleges as a dude, as a guy that they think that can play now, and so it's a real good league.
And then from your perspective?
Yeah, I think both teams were fortunate enough last year to have kids drafted. So, you know, with only 20 rounds, that's pretty impressive. You know, and then the league has really caught up with some of the elite college leagues out there. Like the Cape was always the league, and I think, you know, with Major League Baseball sponsorship or helping however they're helping us, their logos on our league, and then you know, I think we've surpassed probably the Alaskan League, and then we're right there with the Northwood. So I think we're probably one of the top 3 leagues in the country for summertime baseball. And you know, same thing Chris said, is some of these guys, they think they know how to play the game, and they think they know how to show up every day, but this is a different animal when you got to show up every day and play. And you know, when we talked about that with Tony, one of our owners, is like, these guys get tired quick. You know, it's not like playing 2 or 3 games in the weekend. You know, we're playing 6 out of the 7 days, and, you know, you got to show up ready to go. If not, you know, both of us, your name's not going to be in the lineup the next day.
Yeah. So in the college season, is it 2 to 3 games per weekend, and that's the typical schedule?
Yeah, for mine, we play a 3-game series.
Okay.
You know, 1 Friday or 2 Friday, 1 Saturday, and you may play midweek.
Okay.
And that's how I got to run a little small NEI program in Arizona.
Yeah, at the college level and at the JC level in California, early in the season we'll play 4 games a week, but during the season it's a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule. So
Okay.
you got a guy that can really catch for you. He's going to catch most of the time because he's always got a day to rest in between every game, and so it's a little different out here where I'm constantly checking with my guys. Hey, how you feeling? You're not used to this. How you feeling?
Yeah.
And then when you finally do give them a day off, there you're like, hey, coach, halfway through the game, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So that they just don't understand the grind that it is, and that's what they're learning here. Whether it comes to eating right and getting rest and getting to the gym, and the whole aspect of possibly becoming a professional player and what it's going to be like.
So they're doubling the workload during the summer compared to in the season.
Well, a lot of these guys are doing more than that because they didn't play much during the season.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're playing every day, and you get guys that had 10 at bats at their college, and all of a sudden they've got 60 at bats after 10 or after 15 games, and they're like, whoa, this is a lot.
Do you think this does? Playing in a league like this, do you think it preps players for taking that next step at the next level if they do get drafted? And playing in the minor leagues and the grind of what that's like, especially with the travel that you guys have to do?
There's no doubt it helps. I mean, there's pro ball is a different beast, but there's no doubt that this 6 games a week helps them out and gives them an idea of what the travel is. Sleeping in hotel rooms, having to find a good place to get some good food,
Mm-hmm.
Get your rest when there's 2, 3, 4 guys in a room, and it all comes into play. That it's a learning experience for them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's you're not going to feel 100% every day, and that's what we're trying to tell these guys. If you're going to be nicked up, you're going to have aches and pains. As long as you're not hurting,
right?
Some true pain, and you better show up ready to go. If not, you're not going to have a job, especially if you have aspirations in playing pro baseball. I mean, that's the biggest thing. There's so many guys out there, and there's not enough spots nowadays. With Major League Baseball trimming down some of the minor leagues. Independent ball has taken a big step forward, but still, you get in that. And I've had guys, my son played in it last year and actually did halfway decent, but, unless you're just killing it, you're not going to get a look. Or if you're throwing 97 with strikes, you're not going to get much of a look because, unless they invest in you, that's kind of, you're not going to get seen. And it's a good thing about these guys now, the colleges are invested in them now, and they're sending them to us.
Mm-hmm.
So, at least they feel wanted for the most part, except for all the guys in the portal, which is another can of worms that I don't think we want to open tonight. We don't have enough time to talk about that.
Yeah. So each guy, when they come to the team, now that the college season is done, does each guy have their own individual routine that they have established at college that they now bring into this, as far as arm care and working out and nutrition and all those things, or are you guys? Is the team advising on those things as well? We
just try to be an extension of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
We communicate with them, what do you like to do? And just kind of carry that on because we don't have enough time. As good or bad as we may think they are, we don't have enough time to, quote unquote, change them or make them play our way. For me, it's just a mindset. Show up every day ready to play. And we'll tweak you every now and then. And if coach has a question, they'll call us. But, we're just trying to be an extension of where they're at. And that's why I like about it, because it's making me better and all the new different, I'm not a one-knee catcher guy, but I've got to learn about it because a lot of guys are doing it. How can I help my guys? If you're going to catch a one knee, how to make them better, per se, because I was a catcher for 14 years in the big leagues. So, and then the hitting, trying to learn the new ways these guys are teaching hitting. Well, how can that help me? Because I know, I played with the King Griffey Jr. and I played against the Barry Bonds. I played against some of the greatest hitters. I know how they go about the game. Well, how do the new guys go about the game?
Yeah, and just going off of that, we meet with all the pitchers and say, hey, what's your plan? Did the college send you with a plan? And surprisingly, not many do. They just said get innings. They want them to pitch innings. So we'll be extra careful with them. I mean, they tell us they want innings. We're not just going to throw them out there and throw a ton of pitches, but we try to build them our way. Then, if they don't have a plan, and same thing with the hitters. When I talk to the hitters, and I'll say, I'll watch them for a week first. 3, 4, 5 games, and say, hey, listen, if you want me to, offer my advice, and most of the time, please, coach, tell me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, my approach to hitting is you don't teach everybody the same way, but you build on the skills they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I'll try to help them out any way I can to help them get better. So when they go back, they can apply what they've learned out here in the summer.
Yeah, everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, so building off of what their strengths are. Yeah, absolutely. So with the position players, how do you determine how much playing time someone will get? Does an older guy get seniority over the younger guys? Is it a competition directly at the start of the season, and do you stick with the same roster, or is it a cycle?
Well, you know, early on, you try to mix in different guys to get some at bats. But you know, as we get going, and if you're at the ballpark where they have giveaways, they're spending money there to get the fans in the stadium, and the fans really want to see you win. So, you know, you try to spread them out as much as you can, but at the same time, you got to try to win ball games. And so, you know, it seems like there's always 3, 4, 5 guys that you're most of the time going to have in a lineup, and then you try to figure out who else is going to help you win that night. And it might be a different guy on different nights, whether righty or lefty's throwing, or a guy firm on the mound, or a soft on the mound. You know, you just got to try to learn your players and do what you can to win ball games.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. We have some loyalties. You know, we both have different colleges send us players, and we will be loyal to those guys and make sure those guys are getting their ample at bats. And we communicate with guys anyway that come in. You know, maybe at a lower level college, hey, you know, you may have limited at bats, but you know, it's a long summer, things happen, and you may be able to step in and contribute and help us out down the road. But yeah, I'm more of a seniority guy. You know, I like the guys that's been around a little bit. But that being said, we've had a couple of young guys really step up and play well, and they've earned that time.
I see the roster, and there's guys that coming from Oklahoma and all parts of the country. I'm curious at the process of what it's like to bring in guys from different areas. Do you recruit? Do you have your established relationships with certain coaches, and it just kind of happens? How do you get guys from all throughout the country like that?
Well, I mean, we got Jason Crone as our go-to guy. He's the one that helps place most of the guys on the team. And then we actually talked about that today. Is, you know, I got a couple guys that I brought in that actually played for me that were just kind of roster fillers at the beginning, but now we really need them more than ever. And just you know, we both have our own connections as well. But Jason's the guy that we lean on the most to help fill our roster.
Yeah, Jason does a good job, and you know, being at the community college level for 34 years now in California, I've really made a lot of connections throughout the country because they're recruiting my guys. And so, a good friend of mine's at Oklahoma. I've got good friends. One of my ex-teammates in pro ball just got fired from Pepperdine, but we've got players from Pepperdine. So I'll just call my connections to help fill out whatever's left over after Jason goes to work. And you know, I stay in contact with Jason most of the year, and we talk about our needs and wants, and so try to help him out as much as I can. But I think that his connections and my connections help build the Raptors team.
Yeah. So now that the college season is done, you guys have your full rosters, I imagine. Everyone's here that's going to be on the team.
We're still waiting on a couple arms.
Okay.
You know, some guys that
you had a player in Ireland.
Well, yeah, he had left for Ireland to go on vacation, but especially the guys that got some innings that might want to shut it down and then get ramped up again at the end of summer. So we've got a couple pitchers still coming in that we're expecting shortly. But other than that, you know, most of the position guys are here, and you know, we're halfway through, and so that's where we're at.
Awesome.
Yeah, same thing. We lost 3 arms last week, 3 of our starters because they reached their innings limit. So we're cycling through some more guys. We're going to lose another 5 guys in the next 10 days because they reached their innings limit. So that's why we're continuously cycling guys through. And you know, Jason's on the horn trying to find more arms for the back end, because I think when it's all said and done, both of us are going to be in the hunt. You know, we're going to need those extra arms to hopefully get us in that. You know, looks like the 3-4 spot. You know, the 1-2 spot's going to be tough to catch by now, but just to get us in that playoff, and you know, getting playoffs, you never know what's going to happen.
We're getting the signal for the final question. So one more question. Is there any type of rivalry between the local teams like Ridgefield, Cowlitz, Portland, or is it just kind of league-wide, everyone's competing? Is there anything special about heading down to Portland and facing that team there?
Well, that's a crazy atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, they do a really good job of filling that stadium, and they promote really well. For me personally, just being the last couple of years, it's the team on top. It's Corvallis. You know, that's the team that you want to gun for, you want to beat. I mean, they won 7 in a row or something crazy like that. And you know, we beat them the first game of the playoffs last year, and then lost 2 close games down there. So, you know, we were close, and that's, you know, one of the reasons why I wanted to come back is try to beat them. And you know, we're not there yet, but hopefully we'll get there.
Yeah, I think that in regards to Cowlitz and Ridgefield, there's really, it's fun playing them. I mean, the guys know each other. We know each other. We got the same owner, same general manager. Jason's involved with both of them. There's really not really a rivalry there, but when you head down south to Portland, there's a little more of an atmosphere to try to get things done there. We've had some crazy games with them, and it's pretty fun to beat Portland. And it's not fun to lose to Portland. So, and then getting back to what Kelly said, the Corvallis team, that's the team that you really want to get. They've kind of dominated, and if you can get them, it's a good day.
Yeah. Well, Chris and Kelly, really appreciate your time. Again, thank you to Playmakers, everyone for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
You bet.
Thank you.